Hi, Dane with STM Fab. We're going to talk about the hot air attics and kitchens, which have their own special needs. All right, bigger, more air exhaustive, if you will, than server rooms. The hot air attics, if you've seen the other videos or read the literature, as you know, it comes down an inch below your drop ceiling or suspended ceiling grid. Right? Thank you for clicking in, by the way. I appreciate you taking your time. I know kitchens are a rather busy place. Hopefully you're checking us between 2 and 4 o'clock. Anyway, an inch below so that it pulls from the side. Hot air rises. It's a law of nature, something that can't be avoided. The reason for the hot air axis success is it pulls from all 4 sides. All right, this is the intake plate. Unlike your kitchen bathroom fans, which pull from the center of the room and just get part of the cool air from the bottom of the room and little heat from the top of the room, all we pull is the heat. Right? We pull from the side. We want to leave the cooler air at the bottom, toward that end. You want to create as calm an area as possible at the ceiling. Overhead fans, AC supply units, AC return units, we want to keep them away from the hot air axe. Doors that you normally open, all right, when the kitchen is hot cooking and everybody's looking at each other like they want to cut each other's throats, all right, you want to close that door to contain the heat. When heat is contained and undisturbed and unmixed with the colder air stays at the floor, the hot air rises. When the hot air rises, the hot air axe exhausts it. It's a law of nature. You can't avoid it. Once it's exhausted, out the wall with a wall vent, up to the attic if you've got a well ventilated attic, all right, out the roof if you've got no other place to put it. The third, probably fourth place to put it is on the exhaust side of your hoods, right, where you may have to adjust the makeup air. Okay. Sizing. Having said that, 8" is the minimum that we've experienced works well in a kitchen, up to 450 square feet, 500 square feet. The 8" version, this is the horizontal exhaust, all right. There's also a vertical exhaust for the 8", a little bit cheaper because we want to reinforce the bottom, etc., etc. The 8" will nicely take care of 400 to 500 feet. All right. This is not a gusher fan system, blow you away. This is just an intake. If you want to feel how the exhaust is, turn it on before you mount it in your ceiling. Put your hand on the exhaust side, all right, and you'll see what kind of air is leaving your kitchen. And that's not just air, that's heat that's leaving your kitchen, as long as you maintain a calm atmosphere up here. You know, no fans blowing this way, mixing up the cold air with the hot air. If you mix up the cold air with the hot air, if you leave the outside door open, if you have an open kitchen, between the serving area and the dining area, all right, and the kitchen, the grills, the ovens, this is not the system for you. You would have to put too many of them in to make it viable, right? And it would basically make your air conditioning bill sky high, all right, because your air conditioning primarily comes down from the ceiling. The 8" takes care of about 450 to 500 square feet. It exhausts hello Silver Tongue. It exhausts 745 cubic feet of heat in a minute. The 12", both vertical like this and horizontal, the SC12H, all right, and the SC12 is the vertical, all right? Same as with the 8-inch. Exhausts 1,060 cubic feet of heat in a minute. So you can see that they are a heat removal tool, but you still have to contain the heat. Setting one of these outside in the open air, nothing, all right? You're not gonna get that big gush of air like a box fan or something like that, all right? It's a withdrawal tool. The side you don't feel is the intake because it's pulling from all 4 sides. That's 96 square inches, all right, of intake, all right? It pulls from a radius, all right? Up to about 1,900 square feet on the 12-inch model, all right, whether it's horizontal or vertical. Again, you're working on containing that heat even if it's with food grade curtains that drop down from the ceiling. Generally it's not needed, all right? Just let the hot air rise. It rises naturally around your hoods and accumulates at the ceiling, which is why we're in the ceiling. Strange but true. Low clearance models. If you've got an older building, all right, you've got a ceiling with a suspended ceiling below it, and you've got a clearance problem, all right, these work in as little as 12 inches. All right. 660 cubic feet per minute of hot air on the SCH 8, 1,000 cubic feet per minute on the SCH 10. That is still a ton of heat moving out, but it's a low clearance model, slightly more, a little harder to put in, but workable, okay? We're trying to meet your needs here, all right? The intake here, as you can see, is 1 inch. Comes from all the way around, it's a radius. That you probably will not feel the wind. So it'll be a little disconcerting to your people and they won't be able to figure out why it's cooler all of a sudden. But it does work, and extremely well. We're selling a number of them, to put it mildly, which is why I'm here talking to you today. Anyway, they're all 110 volt. It's low amps, all right, high output, 110 volt, 1.7 amps on the 8-inch, all right, a whole whopping 3 amps of 110 power on the 12-inch, all right. Low amperage, high output, cooling fan to keep your kitchen cool and your people a whole lot happier when it gets hot on, you know, Friday, Saturday night. It's just a way to keep your people more comfortable and happier, and naturally more productive, okay? Instead of looking at each other like they want to take those knives they've been cutting with and use them on each other. Anyway, that's about it. It drops into your 2x2 grid in the suspended ceiling, exhausted out the sidewall, exhausted out the ceiling, exhausted to the exhaust side of your hoods. It's very good. It's easy to install with everybody knows about the silver exhaust duct at Home Depot. We don't sell this. It's too expensive to ship. It's like $1, $1.10 a foot at Home Depot, and that's about the cost of shipping this other thing. It's that easy to install. Any way you can get it exhausted makes your people a lot more comfortable, a lot more productive, and if they're happy, the food's better, not so many returns, and you'll be happy because things will be going a lot smoother in the kitchen than people getting upset with each other. Anyway, side intake, that's the reason for its efficiency. Other than the fan that we use is highly efficient. It's a centrifugal reverse blade fan, right? Designed to move air, and in this case, designed to move heat. If you have any questions, my name is Dane. Phone number 770-480-9913. Again, it's the 8-inch, all right, up to about 400 feet, all right, maybe 450. The 12-inch up to about 900. Moves a lot of air, all right, keeps your people cool, keeps your people productive, keeps your kitchen a whole lot happier. Anyway, but you do have to keep the doors closed, shut off the fans, shut off those fans that are throwing air all around the kitchen, because that's hot air, and all it's mixing is the hot air with the cold air. The idea is to create a dead atmosphere above so the hot air floats. Hot air rises, right? You can see it on the pavement on a summer day, all right? The heat coming off the asphalt and waves, that's heat, all right? We've all seen it, we know what it is. This system just takes advantage of that rise the heat. What we get is probably up to a 5-degree heat difference between the floor and the ceiling. We're taking advantage of that 5-degree heat. You set the thermostat, all right, for what you want. Don't set it down at 55. It'll be totally ineffective. All you'll do is keep sucking out air. And what it'll amount to is you'll be sucking the cold air up to the hot air, all right? Set it where you want it. If your people are comfortable, all right, at 80, set this at 82. If they're comfortable at 77, set the thermostat on the hot air axe, all right, at 75 or 74. You have to play with it a little bit according to the size of your kitchen, how many stoves, how many ovens, etc., etc. Locate it centrally in your kitchen, close to the center of the heat, because again, it comes in from all 4 sides. If you have any questions, and keep your outside doors closed, all right? It won't suck up enough cold air from the outside of the building, all right, to make it effective. All it'll do is it'll create a path from the outside of the building, all right up to the hot air axe, leaving your people with some advantage, but not the maximum advantage available. You have to close that kitchen door, turn the overhead fans off that are currently mixing up air, shut the horizontal fans down that are mixing up the air. Let nature take its course. Hot air rises, right? When it rises, the thermostat kicks this on and takes it away. Exhaust it through the roof, exhaust it through the sidewall, exhaust it to the exhaust side of your hoods. Your choice. Questions? Dane, STM Fab on the hot air axe, 770 480-9913. Can't think of anything else to tell you other than thanks for taking a few minutes of your time to look. Bye-bye.